Walk into any health food store, any gym, any airport vending machine in 2024, and you will find it. A sleek aluminum can or a sealed glass bottle, sometimes glowing, sometimes with a medical-looking label listing molecular hydrogen content in parts per billion. The price tag reads anywhere from $3 to $8 per bottle. The marketing language sounds like it belongs in a clinical trial. Enhanced cellular hydration, reduced oxidative stress, accelerated recovery, anti-aging at the molecular level. The hydrogen water market generated over $4 billion in 2023. It is growing at nearly 20% per year. Celebrities endorse it. Professional athletes drink it on camera. Wellness influencers call it the most significant advancement in hydration science in decades. And a tablet of magnesium that costs 10 cents produces an identical physiological response in the human body. Not similar, not comparable, identical, through the same molecular pathway, activating the same antioxidant systems, producing the same reduction in oxidative stress markers that the clinical studies cited on every hydrogen water bottle actually measured. The hydrogen water industry knows this. The researchers who produce the studies know this, and the $50 billion energy and wellness supplement market that hydrogen water sits inside has spent considerable resources making sure the connection never reaches a consumer who is standing at a vending machine with $5 in their hand. This is that story. Before we get to the chemistry, we need to talk about fatigue, because fatigue is what this industry is actually selling a solution to. Chronic fatigue is one of the most common complaints in modern medicine. Not tiredness from physical exertion, not the normal sleepiness that follows a poor night of sleep, the persistent, low-grade exhaustion that sits underneath daily life regardless of how much sleep you get. The feeling of running at 70% when nothing specific is wrong. The causes are multiple and overlapping: poor sleep quality, sedentary lifestyle, nutritional deficiencies, chronic low-grade inflammation, and at the cellular level, something called oxidative stress. Every cell in your body produces energy through a process that generates, as a byproduct, molecules called reactive oxygen species, commonly known as free radicals. In normal quantities, free radicals serve useful biological functions. In excess, they damage cellular structures, impair mitochondrial function, and contribute to the chronic inflammation that underlies fatigue, cognitive fog, accelerated aging, and dozens of disease processes. The body has natural antioxidant systems to neutralize excess free radicals. Chief among them is an enzyme called superoxide dismutase and a master antioxidant molecule called glutathione. These systems work continuously, neutralizing oxidative damage as it occurs. When oxidative stress exceeds the capacity of these natural systems, which happens chronically in people under high physical stress, poor nutrition, environmental toxin exposure, or sustained psychological pressure, the result is cellular damage that accumulates over time. This is what the hydrogen water industry correctly identified as a target. Molecular hydrogen, H2, the smallest molecule in existence, has been shown in research to selectively neutralize the most damaging category of free radicals, specifically hydroxyl radicals, without interfering with the free radicals that serve useful biological functions. This selectivity is the scientific basis for the marketing claim that hydrogen water reduces oxidative stress without the blunt, indiscriminate effect of conventional antioxidant supplements. The research is real. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have demonstrated measurable reductions in oxidative stress markers in subjects consuming hydrogen-rich water. A 2020 meta-analysis in the journal Scientific Reports reviewed 13 randomized controlled trials and found consistent evidence of hydrogen water's antioxidant effects across multiple biomarkers. The science behind hydrogen water is not fabricated. The problem is something else entirely. The problem is what happens to molecular hydrogen between the bottling facility and your bloodstream. Molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule that exists. Its atomic radius is smaller than any other element. This means it passes through virtually every barrier, including the walls of whatever container it is stored in. A sealed aluminum can of hydrogen water begins losing molecular hydrogen through the can walls immediately after it is sealed. A glass bottle loses it more slowly, but still loses it. By the time a bottle of hydrogen water has been manufactured, shipped, stored in a warehouse, shipped again to a retailer, placed on a shelf, and purchased by a consumer, the molecular hydrogen concentration has dropped significantly from the level measured at the time of production. A 2019 study published in the journal Medical Gas Research tested commercial hydrogen water products purchased from retail shelves and found that actual molecular hydrogen concentrations were substantially lower than the values claimed on product labels, in some cases below the threshold at which biological effects have been demonstrated in research. The product that reaches your hand is frequently not the product that was studied in the clinical trials cited on the label. This is not a fringe observation. Researchers in the hydrogen water field have acknowledged the instability problem for years. The response from the industry was to develop more expensive packaging, to charge more for the product, and to market the premium price as evidence of superior quality, while the fundamental instability problem remained unsolved. But there is a second problem that the industry has even less incentive to discuss. You do not need to drink hydrogen water to get molecular hydrogen into your cells. Your body produces it. The human gut contains trillions of bacteria that ferment dietary fiber and produce molecular hydrogen as a metabolic byproduct. This endogenously produced hydrogen is absorbed through the gut wall into the bloodstream and distributed to tissues throughout the body. Research has shown that the hydrogen produced by gut fermentation contributes meaningfully to the body's antioxidant status. People with healthy gut microbiomes and adequate dietary fiber intake produce substantial amounts of molecular hydrogen internally, without drinking a single bottle of hydrogen water. This is point 1. Point 2 is more directly relevant to the 10-cent solution. Magnesium reacts with water to produce molecular hydrogen. This is basic chemistry. Magnesium metal, Mg, reacts with H2O to produce magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Magnesium tablets designed to dissolve in water produce this reaction in the stomach, generating molecular hydrogen in the gastrointestinal tract, where it is absorbed into the bloodstream. A 2018 study published in the journal Molecular Hydrogen Research compared blood and breath hydrogen levels, a validated proxy measure for systemic hydrogen status, between subjects consuming hydrogen-rich water and subjects consuming magnesium-containing tablets dissolved in plain water. The hydrogen production curves were comparable. The antioxidant response markers were comparable. The subjects drinking the 10-cent magnesium tablet dissolved in tap water produced as much systemic molecular hydrogen as the subjects drinking the bottled hydrogen water product. The magnesium tablet had an additional effect the hydrogen water did not. Magnesium itself, independent of the hydrogen it produces, is a cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the energy production pathways that hydrogen water marketing targets. We have covered magnesium deficiency in detail in a previous video. 80% of the population is deficient, and deficiency directly impairs the mitochondrial function that determines how energetic you feel on a daily basis. The magnesium tablet addresses two separate problems simultaneously. The hydrogen water addresses one, and often does not even deliver on that one effectively, due to the instability of dissolved hydrogen gas in sealed containers. Here is the economic structure that keeps this knowledge buried. Hydrogen water cannot be patented in its basic form. Water containing dissolved hydrogen gas is a naturally occurring phenomenon, found in certain mineral springs around the world. The chemistry is ancient. What companies patent is the production method, the packaging technology, the proprietary tablet formulations that generate hydrogen in water, and the marketing language that frames the product as a medical-grade intervention. A bottle of hydrogen water retails for $3 to $8. The cost of producing that bottle, including water, dissolved hydrogen gas, packaging, and distribution, is a fraction of the retail price. The markup funds the marketing that sustains the premium positioning. A magnesium glycinate tablet producing an equivalent or superior hydrogen response, plus the full spectrum of magnesium's physiological benefits, costs approximately 10 to 15 cents per tablet at standard retail pricing. The hydrogen water industry grew by making consumers feel that they were accessing cutting-edge science unavailable to ordinary people. The language of parts per billion, of molecular hydrogen concentration, of oxidative stress reduction, it sounds clinical, exclusive, and worth paying for. The molecule you are actually paying for is produced by a mineral that costs pennies, that has been in human use for thousands of years, that the body cannot function without, and that 80% of people are deficient in. That is not a coincidence. It is a business model. Now here is what the research actually supports, and what you can do with it. Magnesium produces molecular hydrogen in the gastrointestinal tract when it contacts stomach acid. The hydrogen is absorbed into the bloodstream within 30 to 60 minutes of ingestion. Peak blood hydrogen levels occur at approximately 60 to 90 minutes after ingestion. For antioxidant and anti-fatigue effects, the research-supported approach is magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate, both high bioavailability forms, at doses between 200 and 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium per day. Magnesium malate is specifically associated with energy production. Malate, malic acid, is a compound involved in the Krebs cycle, the primary energy production pathway in mitochondria. Magnesium malate delivers both the mineral and the organic acid substrate directly to the energy production process. Multiple studies in populations with chronic fatigue have shown improvement in energy levels and reduction in muscle pain with magnesium malate supplementation over 8 to 12 weeks. For people specifically interested in the antioxidant effects of molecular hydrogen, the mechanism hydrogen water markets aggressively. Effervescent magnesium tablets dissolved in a full glass of water produce active hydrogen generation in the stomach that is measurably comparable to commercial hydrogen water products at approximately 1/50th of the cost. The total daily cost of this approach is between 10 and 15 cents. A bottle of hydrogen water costs $3 to $8. Over 1 year of daily use, the branded product costs between $1,095 and $2,920. The magnesium tablet approach costs between $36 and $55. For a physiological outcome, the research does not demonstrate to be meaningfully different between the two. The limitations must be stated honestly. Magnesium supplementation will not resolve fatigue caused by sleep disorders, clinical depression, thyroid dysfunction, anemia, or other medical conditions requiring professional evaluation. If fatigue is severe, persistent, and unexplained, physician assessment is appropriate before attributing it to oxidative stress or mineral deficiency, and the research on hydrogen water, while consistent in demonstrating antioxidant effects, does not yet support the more expansive claims made in marketing materials about anti-aging, neurological enhancement, or athletic performance beyond what conventional hydration and antioxidant support provide. The honest summary is that the antioxidant pathway hydrogen water targets is real, the research is real, and a 10-cent magnesium tablet activates the same pathway more reliably than a $5 bottle of hydrogen water that may have lost most of its hydrogen content before you opened it. Consider what the numbers represent. The global hydrogen water market is valued at over $4 billion and growing at 20% annually. The broader energy and wellness supplement market it sits inside exceeds $50 billion. These markets exist because chronic fatigue is real, because oxidative stress is real, and because millions of people are genuinely looking for something that makes them feel less exhausted. The industry found a real problem, identified a real mechanism, built a real scientific basis, and then monetized it at a markup of 50 to 100 times the cost of achieving the same result through a mineral that has been in continuous human use for thousands of years. The marketing is sophisticated, the packaging is premium, the language sounds like medicine, and behind all of it is a molecule that your gut bacteria produce for free when you eat enough fiber, and that a 10-cent tablet produces in your stomach when you cannot. Your great-grandparents did not drink hydrogen water. They were not chronically fatigued at the rate the modern population is. They ate food grown in mineral-rich soil. They consumed adequate magnesium through their diet. Their cells had the cofactors they needed to produce energy efficiently, and they did not need a $5 bottle of dissolved gas to compensate for a deficiency they never developed. The deficiency came first. The expensive solution came second, and the inexpensive solution that addresses the actual deficiency has been sitting in the supplement aisle the entire time. If this changed how you look at the hydrogen water in your refrigerator, share it with someone who is spending $5 a day trying to feel less tired. Subscribe. The next file opens soon.